In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis observes Child Abuse Prevention Week. Plans underway to improve Guyana's neonatal care services, and Western New York State slammed with 6 feet of snow. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday, the 21st of November 2022. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, as the country observes Child Abuse Prevention Week, the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs is encouraging the general public to be as vigilant as possible of incidents of child abuse and to reach out. Junior Minister responsible for Social Development, the Honourable Iseline Phillips, gave an address in support of the occasion where she called on everyone to get involved.
As adults, we should all know what child abuse is and have an idea of the signs and symptoms of child abuse, as well as to know where resources are available to address known cases of child abuse taking place. If you are unaware or would like guidance on finding information, please reach out to the Ministry or Department of Probation and Child Protection Services. You may want to consider becoming a scout leader, offer to teach a baking course for children, volunteer to read children's stories at the local library, or teach a Sunday school class. Having adults involved in these kinds of activities really helps to ensure that children are not only properly supervised, but are also actively engaged in positive ways that help in growing their confidence and advancing their development.
The public is also encouraged to support the efforts of the Awareness Week locally.
The color blue has been identified as the primary color for child abuse prevention and World Children's Day. The Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs is encouraging persons to get creative and sport something blue on Friday, November 25th, as we stand in solidarity against child abuse. You may consider wearing something blue, painting your nails blue, make a blue cake, or dyeing your hair to mark the occasion and to showcase your creativity in support of child abuse prevention. However you choose to wear your blue, we encourage you to take a photo and post on social media with the hashtag GoBlueDaySKN.
The ministry said it intends to increase awareness of the issue throughout the week and beyond by highlighting child abuse prevention strategies and by strengthening alliances with community groups and stakeholders with the aim of providing safer environments for children. Attorney General the Honourable Garth Wilkins says the government will be taking a holistic approach towards matters of governance in an effort to address several issues. He was at the time answering a question about pursuing term limits for Prime Ministers during the Prime Minister's most recent press conference. Mr. Wilkins says the government will not approach these serious matters in a haphazard way.
The Constitution is actually famous in the region for having provisions to keep people out of Parliament. And we're no longer going to proceed in that type of way. That is why the Cabinet has instructed me to start to look at wholesome constitutional reform. And that is why we formed a joint constitutional review committee with the legal department in the NIA. We are going to sit down around the table and we're going to look at the flaws in our constitutional system, our constitutional document, and we're going to craft a document that suits the purposes of all the people in our federation.
He outlined some of the specific areas to be addressed and emphasized that the people will be involved in the decision-making process.
We're going to fix the issues surrounding the NIA and the federal government. We're going to address the term limits. We're going to deal with all sorts of matters that are in our Constitution in a holistic, mature way, in a democratic way. We're going to consult with the people. We're going to consider whether we should have a fixed election date so we don't have premature callings of elections like similar other islands are doing right now. We're going to have those discussions with the people. It's not going to just be the people in the room making that decision.
He said the goal is to craft a modern, realistic, fair, equitable constitution that does not target specific individuals. In other news, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is encouraging the public to research thoroughly before investing in crypto assets. In a statement issued on the weekend, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank said it is aware of the recent collapse of FTX, registered as FTX Digital Markets Limited, headquartered in the Bahamas, which was reported to be a significant player in the crypto space. The Securities Commission of the Bahamas has since suspended the registration of this entity, that's FTX, and appointed provisional liquidators for FTX Digital Markets Limited. This has not been the first significant fallout in the crypto space this year. The statement said, in light of these unfortunate events, the ECCB encourages the public to exercise due diligence and to be mindful of the high level of risk crypto assets present. It continued, quote, "Crypto assets are inherently volatile and speculative. As such, consumers should be aware of the risk of the loss of their investment, fraud, and cyber attacks, especially in jurisdictions where the sector is unregulated," end quote. A list of regulated entities can be found on the websites of the national regulators in each of the ECCB member countries. For St. Kitts and Nevis, the websites are www.fsrc.kn and www.nevisfsrc.com. Moving now to news on the regional scene. Guyana's Ministry of Health plans to purchase new equipment for the neonatal care unit to improve health care for infants, particularly premature babies. Joel Vutt reports.
According to Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, the neonatal intensive care unit was established at the Georgetown Public Hospital some 10 years ago to provide special care to the tiniest patients called premature babies. Minister Anthony, during his daily health update on Friday, revealed that plans are in place for the improvement of the unit, with money being set aside in the annual budget and the procurement of new equipment for the unit.
We have already set aside the money to purchase the equipment, and once the equipment come in, we are going to put these equipment in the relevant hospitals.
Additionally, the subject minister noted that a number of healthcare professionals, both doctors and nurses, were trained by a Canadian medical team to effectively perform their duties. He said too that the upgraded training acquired by the NICU medical staff has certainly advanced the unit into a level 3 status, which will also be replicated across regional hospitals to ensure optimal health care for all premature newborns.
We have set aside monies in this year's budget to further expand the NICU services to other regions in Guyana.
Already, the Level 1 neonatal care units have been established at the Linden Hospital Complex, New Amsterdam, and West Demerara regional hospitals.
So we're planning to go to Bartica Hospital, to Soddy Hospital. We are planning to go to Lethem, Mabaruma, and so forth. So there is a plan for extending these NICU services.
Reporting for the HP Nightly News, Joel Vogt.
A commission of inquiry in Trinidad and Tobago will begin hearings regarding the Paria fuel pipeline tragedy earlier this year. TTT News has more.
The Commission of Inquiry into Paria Fuel Trading Limited to determine what caused the death of 4 men